Nice to meet you. I'm Mark.
What's your name? What's
Mark.
your last name?
Mayor.
Oh, nice. An easy one.
Mike.
How are you? Jasmina.
Jasmina.
Yes.
What's your name?
My name's Steve Moy. My last name.
Moy?
Moy, M-O-Y.
Friends with my first name, Noy.
No, yeah.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Married to Reality. It's the Married at First Sight edition. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-host. It's the one and only Teresa.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing?
We should all be doing better because Steve finally got a job. Okay, everyone, calm down. Steve got a job.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Steve got a. You didn't see he's a spokesperson for James Allen Jewelry now. Did you? Were you not watching? Did you think it was a commercial break and you got up and went to the bathroom?
Oh my gosh.
Stevie spokesperson over here. He got a job finally. Was that the worst product placement you've ever? That was worse than shout out to our girls Darcy and Stacy when they forced poor Aniko and Aspen to promote the new Sonic app. They're like, and look, Father Mike, you can order your slushie right from the app. This is the worst product placement I've ever seen.
He better get the ring for free.
I know. I have a lot to say about the ring, so we're going to save it till we get to their segment.
I have a lot to say too.
But Steve got a job. Our boy.
Whew. I have a lot to say about Olajuwon, and I saw a meme about what I'm gonna say.
Do you want to save it?
Well,
Did you show it to me?
one of our friends sent it to us, but there was literally, I don't know, maybe you kind of caught it too during the show, but
Okay.
Olajuwon being so.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I'm educated. I'm this. I'm that. I'm
yes.
so grown up. I'm so mature. Can someone show him how to drink wine, please?
He was one step away from just drinking out of the bottle.
But I don't think he knew.
It's like
I thought he was like, look at this special wine glass.
Well, here's the
probably
thing.
is special for me.
Here's the thing. Maybe he is a whiskey drinker, and as a whiskey drinker myself, they're coming out with all sorts of weird glasses. They have the tasting glasses, the Glencairns. They have your normal snifter,
No.
your rocks glass.
No.
And that looks like a fancy new whiskey glass
No,
that they
it
came up
doesn't.
with.
And you cannot. No. Absolutely fucking not.
No, it was classless, but
No. He is a moron. Come on. Like, because they had the large glasses in front of them, the large wine glasses that you take the little jar and you pour it, or the waitress or waitress can pour it for you.
Yeah. Or
you
your-
don't freaking drink out of the jar.
Or your wife could tell you, hey, Olajuwon, maybe you want to.
I wish he did, because that should probably finally get some upper hand, because
Right.
he's always the one who's telling her how to do
right.
things. And then he grabs the refill jar and he drinks out of it. But he's like, he looks so important. He's like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
It's
pinky's
like,
out.
No, he don't.
Yeah. Speaking of drinking, sorry for the delay, folks, but we are now recording on a Friday. And for better or worse, we get a little loose on a Friday pod. Because
Oh boy.
not that we don't drink during the week, but we drink on the weekends. So we're going to get a little loose on this pod, I think, for better or worse. Strap in. Hope you guys are maybe having a cocktail. And I don't even feel bad about saying that now, because whether you listen Friday night or Saturday or Sunday, it's all fair game. It's the weekend.
Or Monday morning. Get the day started, right?
Splash little Baileys in your morning coffee. Right?
Right.
Okay, so the pod, here we are, Married at First Sight. We're going to get into it, but before we do, a couple quick things. Follow us on social media if you're not doing it. At Married to Reality Pod on Instagram. We got the memes. We got the news. That's where we told you we were going to be a little bit delayed. So make sure you're following us at Married to Reality Pod on Instagram, and you'll be updated.
Yes.
Also, make sure you're following the podcast, okay? So no matter when we drop it, whether it's Thursday night as normal or Friday night as sometimes happens, you'll get it. You won't have to think about it. It'll come right to your device. So easy to follow the podcast. Just look down, smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as the ring Steve is building from Norway.
Yes. Pretty hot. We'll talk about it. Pretty hot.
I mean, we didn't see the actual ring, but it was all very sparkly.
I saw enough to make a judgment on it. So we'll talk about it when we get there. Smash it like it's hot.
I was just going to add, but maybe we can wait. I didn't know that you can kind of look at the diamond, like something's like more yellowy, something's more clear.
Yeah. See, you've never bought an engagement ring for someone.
No.
It's the four C's, Teresa.
I do not
Carat,
know.
cut, clarity, and what's the fourth? Carity? Well, now I'm just combining them. 3 C's. Clarity, cut. Okay, so your clarity is what you're talking about, the yellowness. The cut is oval, prints that right, heart shaped people do. That's the cut. Carat. It's the size. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm gonna look it up. 4 C's of diamonds.
Did you study it before you went and buy me mine?
Oh, color. So maybe color is the yellow thing. Yeah, I studied. And so a lot of people, not to shame anyone, but a lot of people will be like, my fiance or my future wife, she's going to want a 2 carat. So you go 2 carat and then you kind of cheap out on clarity or color. And then it could be cheaper than a 1/2 carat because you could have the most clear, the highest brilliance, right? All that stuff. So size doesn't always matter. A good diamond
Look
matters.
at this expert.
I had to know what I was buying, okay? All right. So I don't know how we got to that, but smash it like it's as hot
As hot as the future
the ring,
ring.
yes.
If they stay together.
Yes. And one last thing, if you haven't left a review, please do. We love reviews. It means the world to us. It is the fuel in the engine of this podcast. So if you could take a few seconds, rate and review, it means the world to us.
Absolutely.
All right. Without further ado, see that? See what I just did there?
You love puns.
I love fun.
John lives for puns.
This is just a Friday podcast. We're having fun. And, we're a little looser.
I mean, when you become a dad, the jokes are going to keep coming.
Absolutely.
The dad jokes.
All right.
Okay.
Married at First Sight, Season 14, Episode 16. It is our last episode before D-Day.
And we have no episode next week.
There's going to be a recap episode, but enough is enough. We're not going to watch it. We're protesting because why are we dragging this thing out? People are already saying it's too long as it is. Now we're putting filler episodes in that I don't need to hear past cast talk about current cast.
Here goes my idea. Are you ready?
Okay.
We're going to go live.
Whoa!
We're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about 90. We're going to talk about maps. We can talk about below deck if we have some friends.
Whoa!
Instead of going live on Sunday nights, because that's usually difficult.
After
right?
a long weekend of boozing.
Well, and cruising because we've been traveling a lot.
Boozing and cruising, look at you.
We've been traveling
Coming
a lot.
alive on a Friday.
Why
pod.
don't we just do it on Wednesday? And you guys can
Hump day.
jump in and out. I know some of you might be watching it, but hey, come in for 5-10 minutes.
Let's just do it at 9 o'clock then. Let's not. The show is from 8 to 9.
Oh,
the
yeah, okay,
recap.
let's do it at 9.
So let's do it at 9. Look at you coming up with ideas on the fly, not telling me. Usually I'm the one who's springing things on you. Call me Bruce Springsteen.
It was time for me to do something.
All right,
like
well,
that.
let's not forget. Let's mark this somewhere.
We'll post it on IG.
I'm saying I hope we don't forget. We'll put it on our calendars.
Yes, you should. But yeah, guys, we'll talk about everything, all our shows. So come in with any question.
I love it. Wednesday at 9 p.m. All right. I like it. It's a date. We'll be there.
It's a date.
Okay, let's start this episode here talking about our friends Lindsay and Mark the Shark.
Mark the Shark.
So at-home fertility tests are a thing that I didn't know existed, but it is. And leave it to Lindsay to get one for Mark.
Yeah, and she whips it out while eating lunch. She's like, sure, what do you want to do today? She's like, eat some lunch and we're going to count your sperm.
Yeah.
Okay, Lindsay.
Here's my thought about this. It sounds harsh because Lindsay's like, this is a thing I want to know before going into decision day. How fertile is he? It sounds kind of harsh. I'm on board. I'm not usually on board with things Lindsay does or says. While this sounds a little harsh, it is good to know because, let's be honest, these people don't know each other. They don't love each other. And if kids is important to you in the future, let's find out. Let's find out if this man can make you a mom.
For sure. Also, should Lindsay be a mom?
No. Here's what I will say. Lindsay.
Maybe it would ground her. I feel like in some cases, kids can like really ground you.
I know, but I don't like the people who think kids will change you, or they will change you, right? Whether you want to or not, but think kids will change your relationship. Oh, I know we fight every day, but we'll have kids and all of a sudden we'll become best friends and the best parents ever.
No. And I know a lot of people who have kids and they're like, if we didn't have kids, we're going to get a divorce. We're waiting until the kids get a little older and then we'll get a divorce.
And I take it back. Maybe Lindsay will be a great mom because we have seen her step up the past couple episodes.
I was going to say,
and be a caretaker.
And she takes care of the cats too, and so does Mark. So I think she would be a good mom as long as she wouldn't, forget them at like kindergarten because she got wasted somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she is very caring. She's nuts. She's absolutely nuts. But she cares.
She cares. She cares about herself first and foremost, which is a single person trait. I always cared about myself more than anyone else until we got deep into our relationship.
Do you care more about me now?
I care about us equally. We are a unit. I care. I would put you before me.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
I would put you before me, but I still care about myself, obviously.
As you should.
If I don't feel good about myself or I'm happy about myself, it's going to be hard for me to be the best version of myself for the relationship. So you can't just go all in on the other person. You still got to care about yourself.
Absolutely, but I also put you first.
When I need to be first. I don't always need to be put first. You don't always need to be put first. Sometimes it's okay to go, you know what? I need a little bit of me time. I need a little bit of light shined on me right now. It's not always
We never do that. What do you mean? I feel like we're always equal. But if anything happened, I would be like, if there is one kidney and we both need a kidney, I would be like, John, you go ahead and you get a kidney.
Yeah, you're very selfless like that.
I am.
You are a caretaker. You are a natural caretaker. I think you do that naturally. I think for me, it's a little more, I have to put more effort into it, but I love when I do it. And it's good when I do it. And it makes me go, I should be more of a caretaker. I should be more of a caregiver.
I think it's because you're more delicate than me. Like I
need more. Yeah, I need more care.
I hate to say it, but I can handle more.
Absolutely. You're a tough European broad over there. I'm more gentle.
I was talking to some friends who were talking about a few things and they said, oh, could John do this? And I'm like, no, because he's too delicate.
Wait,
but
what? What type of...
Well, we're
without
talking
embarrassing me on the podcast.
No, we're talking about RVing.
Oh.
And they were like talking about how it's actually tough. You have to change the poop water. You have to do all that.
I could 100% do that. What are you talking about?
I was like, John is too delicate. He would probably be standing next to me and be like, you're missing something. Connect that over here. You would be like supervising.
I may manage. I may be more of a managerial.
I feel like eventually you would want to see it first, and then the amount of poop that's gonna like.
I would want to see it. I wouldn't want to smell it.
Yeah. So
I think
you are more delicate. You are more delicate.
I think you would have a hard time with me handling your poop. You'd be like, no, let me handle my poop.
I mean, our poop would be mixed in. I don't know if that's yours or mine.
Okay, well, enough bathroom talk.
Unless you had the spinach the previous day and I didn't.
Enough bathroom talk. But, well, not really, because we have to continue the bathroom talk because Mark goes into the bathroom to produce his sample. Did you think Lindsay was going to go in with him?
Yes.
Did you think?
Because it's Lindsay.
Fair enough. But the whole interaction was so uncomfortable for me because she went in there not to assist physically. Like go in there and lend a hand, right? Or a mouth.
Literally.
Can you lend a mouth and then spit into the tube? I don't know. But she went in there to just like stand in the corner and look.
Very detailed.
She went to go like just model and be.
How do you know?
Because she goes in there and you hear him say, oh, should I look at a video or something? Because she wasn't doing anything.
I think she was showing him her boobs and stuff.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah. She goes like, isn't your wife enough?
Right. Just to stand there visually, lend a
No,
hand.
no, I'm sure she did something. She's nuts. I'm sure she like whipped her
No,
boob
but
out or something.
no, because she is so me in the bedroom. I bet she is not a giver, so she probably wouldn't lend a hand. She would probably be like, okay, if you want to like touch
I
me,
think she would. No, I think she would.
we don't.
I think she's nuts. I think she wants to get it done. Like she wants to be in charge. So I can see her. But I feel like why Mark said, "Oh, is it a video? Can I share what your video is?" Because I don't think he was comfortable with her being there.
Yeah,
It's so awkward.
Yeah, there's, and not to get too personal, but I think there's mutual masturbation. And then there's just masturbation while someone's in the room with you. And that's nobody, I don't think anyone wants that necessarily.
How do you even know all this?
Well, because I've heard people talk about it like, oh, yeah, like mutual masturbation. It's a thing, right? But just for Mark to stand there and do it almost clinically while she watches. When you go to a sperm bank, the lady walks you into the bathroom and leaves.
How do you know?
I know enough about everything to have a conversation about it. I don't know firsthand, but she walks you in.
I gotta think like what you do over your like lunch break when you were like, oh, I'm going to Sprouts to get sushi.
How'd you get an extra $500, John? I'm just saying, I felt like she just went in there and stood there, and it was uncomfortable for everyone, especially Mark. And it gets worse because then she starts making fun of his sperm.
I know. How do you know that the sperm is dehydrated?
That's my, like, because she's not a nurse. Maybe she's just a sperm specialist. I know she works in the healthcare field, but as like a project manager.
I mean, if your body's dehydrated, your pee is like pineapple, like yellow.
Yeah.
AF.
Yeah.
That means that your body's dehydrated. One of the many signs, right?
Yeah.
Besides you getting headaches and having dry lips, etc., right?
It's very yellow, yeah.
Yeah. How do you know that your sperm is
Not
dehydrated?
even how do you know? Because I think guys have an idea of, oh yeah, this is my normal sperm, maybe. But how would Lindsay know what Mark's is? And that's why her making comments about it, I was like, could you imagine? Just imagine for a second, Mark commented on something as personal like that about Lindsay. She would lose her shit.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
So I that's why I have big issues with Lindsay. She loves to dish it. She cannot take it.
Well, she has this personality that some people have that she is simply too much. And I don't think she's a bad person. She's just too much to handle.
No, she never means
And that's
bad.
the thing. You can call her like mean or Beatrice.
I call her controlling. I'd call her hyper.
I think she can lose her shit when she drinks. And I don't think she would normally
She's
get...
rude. I would say she's rude.
Yeah, but I
she's
feel like-
never ill-intended.
No, I think she is very protective of herself, and then she would rather hurt other people when she feels like she's being hurt.
Yeah.
So she's gonna hurt you with words instead of just be like, you know what, like yeah, whatever, I'm walking away. She's gonna just fire back and hurt you hard.
Yeah, it's always these little dicks. Mm-hmm. And to go back to the controlling thing, how controlling is it to make Mark take a sperm test? She doesn't take any test.
Well, maybe she did, but we didn't see it.
Well, she should have said, oh, I tested my eggs. I'm good to go. Let's make sure Mark's
Yeah.
good to go. It's like, no, Mark, you take it. I want to know if you're good. It doesn't matter about me.
I mean, you're making a good point. Yeah,
Right?
we only saw her, but his little sharks are swimming strong.
Yeah, apparently you take a COVID test with your sperm. You just put it on you got some leftover COVID test, you throw it down and you find out if you're good to go.
He has a lot of little sharks, and I think that's what sharks do. They like pop a lot of babies. No?
Do they?
I don't know.
How do you know so much about sharks? When you say you're going to Sprouts, what are you going to the beach? How do you know so much about sharks?
I used to be obsessed with sharks.
Really?
Yes, I follow a lot of shark Instagrams too.
Really? What's your
A long
favorite
time
shark?
ago. I think it's the great white.
Yeah, that's
I also
pretty
like the
basic answer.
I like the whale shark
Okay. No one likes the hammerhead shark.
because
a little
it's like
deformed.
yeah, it's like dude, but they can eat you up.
Oh yeah. No sharks are to be messed with.
No,
And
But
that's
yeah,
the thing. Lindsay's like poking a shark. It's like, how dare you?
I mean, Mark is the whale shark. They don't do shit.
Yeah. So Mark goes to John's house. Okay, they have a cool secret handshake, which I think we should start working on one.
You and I?
Yeah, did you see their handshake?
I did. You want to have a secret handshake?
I think we should have we do have a
we
handshake.
Do. I was just going to say.
Should we share the name of it?
No.
No, our friends want to know. We don't have to tell them what it is or how to do it.
Personal. Okay.
Let's just tell them the name of it. And then they could just wonder, well, how do you even do that?
It's a lobster pond.
It's called the lobster pound. It's not a sexual, it does sound a little it's not. It's lobster pound.
No, it's a lobster pond. That's what we do.
Yeah. How could I forget we have a secret
I
name?
can't believe it. I knew it. I was just going to add it. You're like, no, we have one. Of course we have one.
We used to do it way more. We haven't done it.
We invented it very early on in our relationship.
In Maine.
6 months in, we went to Maine.
Maine lobster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
lobster pound.
you gave out so much information.
I didn't tell you how to do the lobster pound. Anyway, Mark's at John's. He wants some last words of wisdom. And he's like, this week's been a lot. We learned his mom went to the hospital earlier in the week, and he thinks it's time maybe for a full care facility. And this is where I go, you know what? Lindsay is a good caretaker, because we cut to footage of Mark and Lindsay cleaning out his mom's place. And then there's footage of Lindsay on the phone talking to Mark's mom. Like Mark's driving and Lindsay's the one kind of taking control in a good way and talking to mom.
And she was there for him when the cat passed away.
Yeah. And this makes you think. Imagine Mark going through all this alone. At least he's got Lindsay because of this experiment.
And that's what John was saying. John said, dude, don't look at the past 8 weeks. Look at the past week, because that's progress.
Yeah.
If the beginning sucked and was difficult, sure, you were getting to know each other. You literally married a stranger, right? But if the past week was good, look at that. And, I almost gonna say they should both say yes on decision day and try to be together without the cameras. Because I feel like maybe without the cameras and without all the pressure, she might drink less. She might be a little more relaxed. He might be able to relax a little more. And I feel like when you see things like her really being there for him, helping him out, they may be able to make it work. I see a possibility.
Yeah, they could suck it up and chug along for who knows how much longer, but I just don't think he's that into her. So don't lead her on. That's the worst thing you could do to someone like Lindsay, is lead her on.
No, absolutely. But Mark's dated before. He was on maths before. He has such a bad luck with women. He said he never found anyone.
You think this is good luck? You think being paired with Lindsay is good luck?
Well, she has a lot of qualities that he was looking for. Not the one that she's absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
But her really understanding that he has to take care of his mom and the grandma, and he has all these, hurtful memories and hurtful life events, right?
Yeah.
She is there for him.
Yeah, she is.
Not everyone could take it. Not every girl is gonna be like, oh my gosh, so yeah, let's date. Wait, like I have to take care of your mom and your grandma, and you have all this baggage, and you have apartments full of bugs, and so I feel like he came with a lot of bag. I don't want to call his mom a baggage.
No, it's not baggage.
No, it's not a baggage, but it's a package. They come in a package, and I don't think any person could handle it.
Yeah, I wonder why she is doing it. Is she doing it like, all right, you don't know how to do this, let me help and get it over with? Is she doing it so that she can later say, remember when I did this for you?
I think she naturally wants to take care of people. And I think it comes from her past. She was hurt. She doesn't have a relationship with her mom. So I think that the whole thing they somehow, I believe, and I don't know how many of you guys feel the same, but I believe that there is a chance for them. They just both would need to really try and make it work. Mark would have to be more open-minded, and Lindsay would need to calm down a little. But
A lot.
yes, a lot. But I can see them making it work. But I can also see them not making it work. There's one of the couples that I'm like, okay, if they say no, I'll be like, yeah, I see why. But if they say yes, I would be like, I see why too. I can see them trying.
We're gonna do our predictions at the end of this episode. We should say we're gonna go couple by couple and say what we think they're gonna say on decision day. We'll do that at the
Yes.
end. Okay, so then Lindsay meets up with Elijah on to talk things through.
And I did not know they were such friends. I saw them being friendly, but I thought that, you remember did they go to Puerto Rico? I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, going to Puerto Rico, she got into an argument with him and with Katina, but it started with Elijah one, as far as I know.
Yeah.
How did they become besties?
Yeah. Well, they shouldn't be giving each other advice on relationships because they're the two worst people, I think.
Yeah, but Lindsay loves apparently they are very similar.
Well, she says they connect on faith. They connect as a team, and she trusts his advice for some reason.
And also, some friends told us this, and I thought that too. When they did the group retreat, Lindsay was the one spying on Mark with Elijah one. She was hanging out with him.
Oh, and let me take that back. She was saying those things about Mark. She connects with Mark on faith and trusts his advice. I was thinking, okay. But her issue with Mark is that he goes to his friends first when there are problems and doesn't go to her.
And I think it was the first time that I was like, Elijah one, yes, I agree with you. Because he said he goes to other people because you have such a strong personality that he wants to make sure that his answer is good enough. It's slightly sad, but I see it. I understand it. And Lindsay did too.
Well, because the way Elijah phrased it, he said, oh, he goes to other people first because you're so strong, you're so smart. He wants to make sure he's saying it. And Lindsay's like, oh, yeah, I am strong and smart. You're right. So,
well, that's why they're very similar. They
think highly of themselves.
And then change of topic, Katina. And school.
Oh, boy.
And cooking.
Oh, boy.
And Elijah one's like, if she's in school, she's not going to be able to cook for me and the kids.
Exactly. Well, she's missing...
What?
She's missing life experience. That's the way he phrases it. She's missing life experience.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. And I hate that he's like that. And I'm glad about what Lindsay said. Lindsay was like, well, why don't you do like a meal service? So she doesn't have to cook every single day. She can still take care of the kids. She can go to school. She doesn't have to do everything.
But how can you with a straight face say she's missing life experience? But then look at yourself. Are you doing it? You're not... Are you missing life experience?
You don't even know how to drink wine.
You can't even drink wine properly, man. Like, so are you saying you're missing life experience too? Because are you cooking now when she's not, or what's happening?
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And I don't know if our friends know, but when you and I started dating, I was finishing school and I was in my mid to late 20s. Yeah, I took my time too. Did it bother you that I was finishing school?
No, it was great.
Yeah.
That you had drive and were juggling work and school and a relationship
I had like
and
2 or
cooking
3 jobs so I could pay
cleaning.
for school.
Yeah.
And we cooked.
You have so much life experience.
But we
No,
cooked
you really
too.
do.
We cooked. I went to school. I went to my day job. I picked up some babysitting and some hostessing on the side. So
You're a hustler.
I could pay for my college degree and I don't have to owe any money. And you never said a word. There were times that I had to wake up at freaking 4 a.m. to study before work so I can go to work, and after work I can take my exams. And you never said a single word.
Well,
you cried at my graduation.
Did I?
Yeah, you got very emotional.
No, I mean, I look towards the future and I go, you know what? It may suck now. Maybe it sucks we can't spend as much time together, or we can't do this or spend money on that. But in 5 years, in 10 years, it's going to pay off tenfold because you're going to be happier. You're going to be working in a field you want to work in. You'll make more money. So Elijah's so short-sighted.
And that's why it bothers me, because I can speak from experience. They don't have kids. They want to have kids. That's cool. Can you wait 1 extra year to have kids? you're not that old. It's not like you're 40 plus and you really want to have kids now. Come on. Like, it bothers me so much because you and I experienced it, and me being in school and working a lot did not stop us from traveling. It did not stop us from having fun. It did not stop us from anything. You make it work.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. I don't think it's about traveling for Elijah. He uses that as an excuse. Oh, if she's working, if she's in school, we won't have time to travel. I don't think it's that. I think if she's working, if she's in school, she's not going to have time to cook and to clean. And that's what she wants. That's what he wants from her.
But you will, because I did.
Yeah.
And this is, again, not me just trying to compare myself to anyone, but this is me literally doing what Elijah is saying that Katina won't be. And I'm not a fucking magician.
No.
I'm a normal person. And that's what Katina is saying. She's like, I can handle it. And I believe that she can.
We all have the same 24 hours in the day.
Yeah.
It's what we choose to do with them.
Absolutely.
That's different. Here's the thing that upset me and sort of defines and clarifies a little bit, I think, where Elijah's coming from. Lindsay goes, well, she is cooking. Doesn't that make you happy? And Elijah goes, no, she's learning to cook. And then he goes, this is my life. And this is what's important.
Ah!
No, it's your life. You are now married. It is a we, not a me situation. For him to go, this is my life, so clearly highlights to me this relationship. Because it's so selfish. It's so one-sided. And he even says it's my life. It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. And then him bashing the whole work from home thing. He's like, oh, it's not a lot of work for my wife. She's working from home. She's got free time. What are you talking about, dude?
Working from home, you work more. I don't know about you guys, but you end up working more. And this is not a complaint. This is just the fact that you don't have to travel anywhere. You can just be home. You can focus more. It's more. I feel like it's more.
And you feel like, oh, if someone emails me at 6 p.m., I should respond.
Yes.
I don't want to look lazy. Nobody saw me leave the office at 5:30, so maybe they think I didn't work in the afternoon. So you end up working more.
Absolutely.
Elijah, like you think at the end of every episode, okay, that's rock bottom. He can't get worse. Then he gets worse.
I just hate it because he dismisses what normal people deal with every single day without any issues.
He dismisses everything about everyone
and
every day.
It's ridiculous. You're not dealing with anything crazy. Of course she can do all that if she wants to. If she wants to do it, she can do it. But him just predicting that she cannot and that she should say no on decision day, she should put herself first. What?
Okay, somehow we turned Mock the Shock and Lindsay's segment into Katina and Elijah. We'll get to them. All right, so save your breath. We'll get to them. Well, let's talk about Lindsay meeting up with her friend Kara. And Lindsay opens up with the question, you ever date an only child?
You can speak to it, John.
I have dated an only child. Am
I the only child?
You're the only child. And I ended up marrying an only child. And I just hate, and I know probably Lindsay wasn't being serious, but you guys know I just hate generalizations.
Yes.
And so Lindsay's just generalizing that only children are super rigid and only children can't adapt. And my wife can adapt better than anyone I know.
Oh, thank you. Because I was raised that way.
Of course.
My dad comes from 3 kids, and he always said it. He's like, the fact that you don't have anyone else doesn't mean that I'm gonna treat you like the only child. Like, yes, my mom gave me a little more love, right? My grandma freaking adores me. Now I have to share my love with John.
She loves me.
She loves John. So now it's like in a way,
I
have a sibling now.
Well, sibling rivalry over here.
But yeah, my parents my dad especially never treated me like I'm the only child, you get everything. I had to work for things. I really did. And even like silly things, like my parents knew I was smoking cigarettes, right? And when I was like 15, and my mom was like, I'm not gonna give you your allowance. My dad did the math exactly what it's gonna cost me to like go to school, because they give me money for the bus, etc. What's gonna cost me for some snacks. I didn't get a dollar or anything extra. And my dad goes like, if you want to go out and be cool and drink beer and smoke your cigarettes when you're freaking underage, you find a job and you found your own shit. And I did. But that's how I was raised.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the child.
Absolutely.
It has everything to do with the parents.
Yes.
So whether you have one child or 10 children, it's how you parent them that's going to make the difference. So to put that on being an only child is ridiculous. Every parent
It is.
parents differently. So Lindsay asked Kara what she thought of Mark at the wedding. And she goes, he was nice, smiles a lot, but he was a bit white bread. And Kara's like, there's something reliable about that, which, yeah, I mean, the reliability and white bread usually go hand in hand. I mean, you start.
What does it even mean?
White bread is just bland. It's plain, but that's good for some people. I mean,
just put some butter on it. Am I
well,
right?
now we're spicing it up, but yeah, if you date Cinnamon Raisin Swirl, I mean, that guy might go to the strip club and not come home for 3 days. So maybe white bread's not the worst thing.
I think Mark is a good dude. Yeah.
Mark is good, yeah. And Lindsay just wonders if Mark, is it that he's not adaptable or is it that he's overwhelmed right now? Because according to Lindsay, he's in a state of crisis. So maybe he just can't be adaptable. Maybe he can't let loose. Maybe he's just too focused on the crisis that surrounds him. But at the end of the day, Lindsay says, Mark's not giving her butterflies. It's a little bit of a Michael Jasmina statement where he's not giving me sparks. He's not giving me butterflies.
But I think she is attracted to him. That's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that Jasmina is attracted to Michael, but I think Lindsay is. I just think they've been dealing with so much shit between the two of them and the dead cat and the mom and the apartment that they forgot almost to keep the relationship going. And they always end up arguing.
It's a great point. There's so much that you just have to put
Yeah.
before yourselves.
Yeah.
Cat, mom, apartment. You legitimately, physically have to put those things before
Yeah.
the experiment. That it's their romance is taking a back seat for worse. It's not even for better or for worse. It's just for worse. The romance is taking a back seat. Lindsay goes, he's definitely my first husband, might not be my last.
Oh,
So
see.
she's on the fence.
The only thing I'm gonna say is like, yes, it's for our entertainment. It's a tough one. It's great, right? But sometimes I feel like these people forget that it's gonna air on TV and the spouse is gonna hear it. So some people are very hurtful, and without realizing that, oh my gosh, like that person's is. It's not like, oh, you go to grab a coffee with your friend and you complain. No, you complain on TV.
Yeah, I don't think Lindsay cares.
No, I don't think she does either. But I almost feel like she should maybe a little bit. If you want to make
she
it work,
should
be
totally.
slightly nicer.
She doesn't. That's the thing. She cares about other people, but she doesn't really care.
And I always say this.
About other
I say
people.
this about like when I interact with people who are rude and who say things that I'm very deeply bothered by. I always say, there is a different way to say it. I understand your point. I understand.
Oh, I taught you that.
You did.
I taught you that.
But it's
for
not
sure.
because I was rude. It's because I'm very straightforward.
You're very straight foreign.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, you did. But also, they taught us this in school too. Not to get personal, but there are ways you can say that you don't like something or you don't like someone, you don't get along with someone, right? Without bashing them, and because it makes you sound like an idiot.
What school did they teach you this in?
I mean, like work stuff, like when it comes to my profession.
Got it.
But it can be applied to your day-to-day
Sure.
life.
Of course.
So.
Of course. New day. Mark and Lindsay are in the car. Mark's got a surprise. He brings Lindsay to his, I think it was his grandma's house. It wasn't his mom's
so
house.
he said the grandma's house, but then he kept calling it his mom's apartment. So I don't know.
Some mother figure, either a mother or grandmother.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was a house. It was a house, but I don't know if it was a house with 3 units or.
Yeah, it could have been a duplex or a multifamily.
But I don't know if he
that's
owns the
Boston.
house.
That's
Like, I don't
Boston.
know.
Either way, he set up a romantic dinner for him and Lindsay. And here's Here's how much our boy Mark the Shark is trying. He brought all of his dead friends along. He brought his sushi. He brought his dead fish, his fish friends along. And he doesn't like sushi. Lindsay loves it, but he's going to do this for her. And that's growth, right? Like, that's great that he's going to put her wants and needs before his, even in this time of crisis that he's going through. He's not going for his comfort food, for his chicken tendies. He's going for some sushi to make her happy.
Speaking of sushi, I found a place where they sell the Love Boat.
Yeah, you've never had that
No.
sushi. A sushi, but come on. If you're going to call yourself a sushi place, you got to have the sushi boat.
You know what's funny? They have the Love Boat for 2, but they also have the Love Boat for 3.
Whoa, that's a throuple.
I like when I saw the menu, I like died laughing. I'm
That's
like,
funny.
what is this?
2022.
I know.
That's what's up.
I know.
So he's, long story short, he's trying to convince Lindsay to live in this house. And that's why he's bringing out the sushi, I think. He's going to do anything he can to convince Lindsay to live in this house after decision day. And she kind of seems open to the idea.
Well, she does, but I'm with Lindsay, whatever she's gonna say next, because she's like, yeah, but I'm gonna change this, I'm gonna change that. I'm like, I get it. I understand you can live in the house, you can keep the core structure, the home, the roof, the walls, right?
Yeah.
But you need to make it your own. You need to make it your own, because she always says, I don't want to live in your past. And it's so true.
100%.
It's so true.
And what I'll say to that is, if he wants to live in the home because he loves the home or because it's a great deal, you're not going to find this type of property for this price anywhere else, that's fine. But if he's truly living in the past or wanting to live there because he wants to live in the past, that's where I take pause and have some concern for Mark and say, I love you, Mark. I think you're you're a great guy. But maybe some therapy or maybe talk to someone, because I think he knows his mom is getting to the end. He's not ready to let her go. And maybe he thinks living in this house is a way to hold on to that. And that's not necessarily the healthiest. And again, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist, but I think maybe that's a little bit of what's going on here.
No, absolutely. I see it. I see both of their points, but he cannot live in the past.
No. And again, if he wants to live in that house because this is a great deal on a house, it's a good investment, that's great. If you want to live there because I always need to be near mom, that might cause... And
I think that's why he wants to live there.
That might cause some issues.
Because he's like, I don't want to give up the dresser that reminds me of mom.
Yeah. And I get that. Right. But it's probably not the healthiest.
It's not, but I feel like it's because they don't communicate well. As an example, right? No one's giving us a house, guys, FYI. But let's say your parents gave us a house, right?
Yeah.
I would want to change the whole freaking thing inside and out to make it our own. You know, to update it, to change everything about it. But if you said, hey, T, I love this fireplace. Oh my gosh, like I grew up watching this fire, and I would be like, you know what? It doesn't go with our vibe, but maybe if we paint it so it goes, like we would find a way. Like I would not be like, absolutely not. But I would talk to you. I would be like, I understand what you're saying. It doesn't go with the style we're going for. But let's think about it, right? Because I understand your point.
Yeah.
These guys need to talk.
Yeah, communication.
Yeah.
Of course, that's really all it takes for most of these couples is a little communication. Yeah, no, that's a fair point. So they get back to the apartment for their last night together. They seem good. They seem like the best they've seen in a long time. They're cuddly. They're making jokes about the cats are the reason they're still together. And I think they're in a good place going into decision day. And we'll get to our predictions at the end. I just don't know if they should say yes.
I think they should, but we'll get there.
All right. Let's go to Noi and Steve, okay? So Noi, we start with her at the beach with her friend Sapri. And Noi's telling her friend they had a good start. Then it got rocky when they moved in together. But now we've turned a corner.
Her name should be Annoyed.
I think I made that joke.
No, you did not.
Annoying.
You did?
I think so. If I didn't, then shame on me because that's the easiest pun.
I think I just did.
That's the easiest pun. Speaking of names, what happened to Noisy? Because that could have been that when Steve put on Get Down, Noisy should have put on a wig and got down because we heard so much about Noisy episode 1 and then not a peep.
No.
It's been quite silent.
I mean,
ever
maybe
since.
Noisy is the diva. Like, I don't want to live at the same apartment.
I was
as you.
promised wigs. Sriracha brought the wigs,
Sriracha did.
but Noisy never made an appearance this season. Maybe on D-Day. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe she's just outgrowing it.
Which would not be the worst thing, right? So the conversation turns to Steve's issue with Noi not cooking and cleaning. And Noi tells Sapri, I don't understand this because I feel like I do a lot. And maybe I just need to say it now. Maybe I need to verbalize how much I'm doing because he's just not seeing how much I'm doing, right? Do we think she's doing a lot?
I think by doing a lot, she means that she has a job.
Right.
She works.
With the cooking and cleaning?
I think she looks at Steve as, you don't do anything, so why don't you cook and clean? Because I work.
I wouldn't cook for Steve after the noodle debacle, right? I'd be like, you know what? You handle it from this point on.
I mean, it wasn't Steve's fault.
That's true. She kind of blew up for no reason.
Yeah, she blew up and she left.
Yeah, that's true. But the cooking was the cause of this huge
Yeah.
issue. But okay, then it turns to the job, right? Sapri wants to know what's going on with the job. And Noi says, well, Steve's the type of person, he needs to focus on one thing, one task at a time. And right now he's focusing on marriage.
I don't know what to say to you, Steve. You can multitask.
You should be able to
dude.
multitask. I've seen your website. I've seen your website. DJ, graphic designer, break dancer,
Everything.
etc. I think you can multitask.
I think you can multitask and also like focus on a few things. Don't do
you can
everything.
There's prioritizing.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
He's like basketball coach, graphic designer, like photographer.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah, reality TV star,
Oh,
chef, home chef.
dude.
Yeah, just prioritize. Because Noi says I'm a hustler, so I can do it all. So Steve should be able to do it all. And I agree. You can do a couple of things, Steve, I think, right? So Noi tells the camera, as much as I love Steve, I wonder if there's enough of a foundation here for everlasting
This
love.
whole thing is that, I'm telling you, if he had a 9-to-5 job that
Yeah.
makes him more than $70K a year, she'll be a happy dog.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
it.
all she's missing in the
That's it.
relationship. That's it.
Let's talk about Steve's new job. Because Steve's in air quotes. You can't see me, guys. I'm making quotes. Steve's friend, Paria
Peria?
comes over, who I don't think we've seen Paria before. I don't think she
No.
was at the wedding.
I think Peria actually works for the Diamonds.
I think Paria. I think PR may be her name, and they're like, she works PR. We could turn it into Paria. Yeah, she's PR for James Allen, and she comes over to find a ring for Noi, but to mainly plug James Allen. Right? The thing is basically a step-by-step tutorial on how to use the website.
Yes, and then she just nails it when she says, guys can prove love by showing where they invest their money. Wink.
And they go through the whole process, and she's like, oh, what's the, yeah, top right, no, scroll up. Yep, right over there. A free engraving with any purchase from JamesAllen.com.
Don't do it.
Oh my God, don't engrave?
Not Steve, because she might say no, and then you can sell it.
Oh, good point. So, okay, here's the thing. I went to Steve Allen during a commercial break to price the ring because
How would you do that?
he went through and he was like, I want the circle cut, and then I want this clarity, and then I saw in the corner the carrot size. So I had some specs. I had
Look
enough
at you.
enough specs to price this ring, and I wanted to because the onlines, the internets were freaking out, going, he's got to be rich if he bought this ring. He's rich. Look, everyone leave Steve alone. He's got money, right? So I put it on the specs, boop, 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 boop. Came up with a range because there was a couple things I didn't know, but a range that the ring could have possibly been because it spits out a bunch of different rings and you can choose. Between, you want to guess how much you think the ring, you want me to tell you the specs and then you can guess?
Sure.
I don't even think I wrote the specs down. I just put them in. It was like 1.1 carat. It was like decent clarity, round cut.
Okay. I mean, I'm not an expert at all, but because of your tone and the way you set this whole thing up, I'm going to say like 2,000 to 3,000.
Oh, well, no, that'd be very cheap.
You see, I know nothing about this.
So what came out after all those specs were inputted? 6,500 to 8,000.
Okay. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Not cheap at all. Not cheap at all. But I looked up the average engagement ring cost on the knot. Okay. The average for the country for, I think, this past year, 6,000.
Okay.
Okay. So he's right there a little bit above the average. So again, not cheap, but I'm just talking to the folks on the internets going, he's got to be rich if he's going to buy that ring.
I mean, you have to have money. Look at the Gene online today. Spent $200 on the ring. Didn't even want to go to $800 because he's unemployed.
Right. But I'm just saying it's not Hailey Bieber's $500,000 engagement ring. He spent the average amount on a ring.
Yeah, unless you are Justin Bieber, I don't think you can spend $500,000.
But if he spent 20,000, if he spent 15,000, I might go, shit, you look at him doubling the average. He spent the average amount every other American dude spent, or the average American guy spends.
But every average employed American.
Sure.
Yeah. I almost felt he's doing it. Okay, A, it's an ad, sure. But B, he wants to prove that, look, I have money. I can just buy a diamond. It's fine.
Yeah. You think he's going to give it to her if they say yes on decision day? Yeah. I thought, so they go out to dinner, right? I thought he was going to give it to her here.
No.
But I guess that's too much of a tell of like, I'm going to say yes. Which I wonder, and I have to imagine couples do on this show. And they just don't air it because the drama is really for us. The drama, you don't need to create drama in your relationship. That's ridiculous. I'm sure some couples part that night before and go, I'm saying yes. You're saying, yeah, we're saying yes. Because come on, if we love each other, let's be honest with each other. I think they do
some
it for
couples,
TV.
but I believe that some couples might say, I might say yes, and then gonna change their minds.
That's true too. They don't want to deal with the drama without the experts there. So they go out to dinner. Let me just say this. They're having these somewhat serious conversations, and Noi just stares at her food whenever she talks to Steve. If she's asking him a question, she's just looking at her plate. She won't look him in the eyes.
I did not pick up on it.
Oh, yeah. That's all I could see. I'm like, look at him. You're talking about these big things. She asks, how do you feel about us not living together after decision day? And she's digging in her food. Make some eye contact. This is a serious question.
Yes, but Steve knew the answer. She knew the answer.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, she goes, I don't think it'll change much. Our bond won't change. And Steve says it could. We could take a step back. We're not going to constantly be together.
Let me take it back. Not that they knew the answer, but it was more of...
She was scared to ask. And
yes.
Yes. Come on. If this is going to be your decision, if you're going to make a decision that can impact your relationship, like not living together, have the balls to look him in the eye when you're asking this question. Right? Because that's how serious of a question you know it to be, that you can't even look up from your plate to ask it.
Well, I missed her staring into her food, but...
Yeah,
if they stay together, they'll need to figure things out. And again, I said it before, if she says, let me just stay in my own place at the beginning, see how it works, I would understand it because they can just date, right? I know they're married, but they can date. Let's see how things are. But if she thinks this is a permanent solution, like freaking DP.
Come on, DP.
No. Like I don't buy it. I feel like if you love someone, you should want to be around them.
Right. If you don't want to be around the person the second month of the relationship, you're definitely not going to want to be around them the 20th year of the relationship. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. And again, I know there's a million and one reasons to not live together when you're married. They don't have any of them.
What do you mean? What are the reasons?
Someone's got a job in another state, a really good job.
But again, that would be a short-term solution, hopefully. Like, hey, maybe eventually you can move over here, right? Yeah.
And maybe they're saying there will be. But there's a plethora of reasons to not live together. They don't have any of these reasons. That's my only point.
Yeah.
Steve says, we don't need a perfect marriage by decision day, but is there enough to carry on? And Noy says, I still have some questions, and I think the job is one of those big questions.
That's the only one for her.
It's the only question. And again, guys, are you having these conversations off camera? Because you're dancing around it on camera, right? Steve's like, do you know what a sales engineer is? I didn't just apply for a job down the street. It took work to get where I was. It took 4 years. And Noy's like, we can only go off the information we have. I know you're working on things. I just don't know what that means for income. So just tell her. Mm-hmm. And I get if you don't want to tell the world on TV, but I don't think you're telling her from these conversations. It doesn't seem like you are. From the conversation she's having with her friends, it doesn't seem like she knows. So just have the conversation and be done with it.
But also tell us. I want to know.
I definitely want to know. And I can go on Glassdoor and look it up and get an estimate. But but it's come on. If you're not going to tell us, at least tell her, and I hope you did. Mm-hmm. Right. So they get in bed for their last night. This was kind of funny. Steve asks Noy, would you do anything differently if you could start this process over? And Noy's like, well, what would you do? What would you do differently? And Steve goes, probably get a job. Mm-hmm. and everyone laughs. And Noy's like, but seriously. And Steve goes, probably would have just eaten the pasta. That would have been good. Mm-hmm. That would have been good. And so Noy's like, well, would you want me to do anything differently? And Steve says, I just want us to treat each other equally. I don't want anyone to snap at each other. And Noy interprets this as Steve feeling like everything needs to be 50-50.
Yeah, this annoys me.
Yeah, I don't think that's what he was saying.
No. And it's fine that you want to be equal with your partner. And I think Noy was like, like back to the 50-50, 50-50 cleaning and all that. Yes and no. But again, communication. Like, I do clean more than John, for sure.
Yes,
60-40. He does other things. Like, he goes to the store. He goes to pick up food. He does things that I don't do.
I make the bed every day.
He makes the bed every day.
I'm mainly in charge of dishes and the dishwasher.
And the garbage. And so, we have our tasks. So at the end of the day, I think we are very close to being 50-50.
And if you ever asked me to do something, no, we're not 50-50. We're probably 65-35 with you doing more. But if you ever asked me to do something, I would do it.
You always do it, yeah.
Right, I feel like with this couple...
No questions asked. You never say, I don't want to do it, or wait. You always do it. Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah. And again, I don't think Steve is saying 50-50. I think it's just like, help out a little. Let's each just help. Let's each respect each other. Let's treat each other equally. Let's each respect this relationship and help out.
Yes.
Okay, that's Steve and Noy. Let's take a break. When we come back, we got 2 more couples. Then we're going to do our predictions, and we'll call it an episode. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in a second. Return of the Mac. Come on, Return of the Mac. Oh, my God, Return. You don't know Return of the Mac?
No.
Coach Mac? You've never heard Return of the Mac, the song?
Well, I was just going to say... ahoy or hello.
Hello. You're getting your shows mixed up. Come on. When I got a hot intro like Return of the Mac.
Say hello to me.
Hello, Teresa.
Hello, Jonathan.
We're going to party at Return of the Mac when we end this episode.
Well, did you just make it up?
No, it's a hot song.
Is it?
Return of the Mac is a hot song.
I don't think I trust you.
From, I don't even know what year.
I think you made it up.
No. Mark Morrison, I think. Yeah, from early 90s jam. Return of the
It's
Mac.
not that old.
Yeah, it's
I was born in the early 90s, so be careful what you're saying,
mid 90s,
young man.
mid 90s,
Young man.
young man. That's a different song. There's no need to be down. Okay. Anyways, Return to the Mac. We're talking about Katina, Elijah, and Coach Mac. Elijah is with Coach Mac.
He loves Coach Mac.
I do not like Coach Mac. I said it the first time we saw him. I'm going to say it again. This guy has terrible advice.
Because Coach Mac doesn't have his own opinion.
doesn't know what he's
he
doing.
just kind of like, whatever Elijah says, he kind of like, yeah, dude.
I don't even
you're
think he's
right.
married. He doesn't wear a ring. I forgot to check this episode if he was wearing a ring, but last time he was not.
I mean, if you're a coach, I feel like you need the rubber ring. If you,
Oh, you got one rubber ring and you think
And then-
you're an expert on rings.
because it's better. Like if you work out, I cannot work out with my rings.
He wasn't working out. He was giving Elijah on
True.
so advice.
But if you call yourself a Coach Mac
Yeah.
and you're married, you should have a sports ring. Because you have this persona of like, I'm the coach. Have the freaking rubber ring.
yeah, have a rubber ring, wear a whistle around your neck. Come on, let's be a coach here, Coach Mac. If you're going to call yourself Coach Mac, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, just be Mac. Just
Yes.
be Mac, right?
Have the shirt with the polo shirt,
Yeah.
baseball hat, a whistle,
Yep.
like really white tennis shoes because you don't do
You
anything
just
but
stand on the
like young
sidelines.
people.
Yeah. Okay. Coach Mac, Elijah, they're talking. And Elijah's filling him in on how Katina wants to be in school and it's going to be 3 to 5 more years. And that worries him. And here's what I'll say. I don't think Elijah knows what he's talking about because 3 to 5 more years is kind of a big difference, right?
So I'm trying to figure out, is she getting her associate and then she wants to go get her bachelor's and go to nursing school?
Ooh, right.
Or is she like, because I think you can go get your associates for 2 years and then go to nursing school for 2 years. But yes, it's true. Then you can go and get your bachelor's.
Right.
Guys, I'm guessing because we have a friend who's done this. So I'm kind of trying to remember what she was doing.
It does. You can get it could take 1, 2, 3 years to get a nursing degree, I think, depending on what you have prior. You're
Yeah,
right.
but you can get your associates and then go to a nursing school. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure he said, oh, she wants to get her degree and then get her bachelor's and go to nursing school.
That's a lot of school.
It's a lot of school, but hey, nurses make decent living. And
Great
if she's
money.
passionate about it, let her freaking do it. Oh my God.
Nurses make great money. Yeah, to me, he just heard school and he was like, that's it. And he literally says, I don't want to hear any more about school. Mm-hmm. Come on, man. Like, think about your future. It's so good that, and I'm anti-school for a lot of things. I've said this to Teresa. I've said this to other people. There are things you don't need to go to school for. You're better off going into the field and getting experience in the field. And then there are things you need to go to school for. A nurse is one of those things.
Yes, no, I agree with you. And I think based on what you're doing, I think having some education is important because not just you sit in the school, you learn all that. You also prove that you are capable of doing that.
Yeah, a bachelor's degree, sure, go for it, especially if you don't know what you want to do in life. It's a good place to find yourself, find out what you want to do, learn some life skills, to use an Elijah Wan term. But I'm talking masters, I'm talking doctorates, right?
Well,
There's certain things you can go get a master's in, and it's like you're better off just going and working in the field and getting hands-on experience. I'm speaking from my degree, and I know how we hire, and I know people, and I don't care what it says on your resume. I care what skills you have, what you can do, right? Your talent. So, yes, Elijah Wan's like, I don't want to hear about school. I'm with you. In certain fields.
yeah, but
not in
you're
Katina's
not with
field.
him in the way he meant it. He meant it like, I don't want to even talk about school. I don't want you to come home and be like, oh my gosh, so I got a B grade.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to hear that. Back when I was in school, you did want to hear about my school. You
I
did
helped
want
you
to see.
with, I helped you with
You
your school.
did, and you really nailed some of my projects.
Especially because your English is not where it Your English is not what it is today when you were in school.
True.
I don't think I said that. My English is not where it should be right now. But it's Friday night. We're having some cocktails.
Friday night.
But yeah, your professor's like, you wrote that? That's pretty good. It's a lot of puns. It's a lot of English puns for a Czech Republic over here. Pretty good. Okay, but anyways, Elijah doesn't want to hear about school. He wants to travel. Wants to travel the world. How is he going to travel the world and also work as a wastewater operator?
And also, he's like traveling 2 to 3 times a month. Yeah, that's possible. We do it. But
locally.
Driving, yeah, but you can fly, but you need to. We do it on the weekends,
On the
right?
weekends.
We work during the week.
If Katina's working and in school, she may have a lot of homework. She may not be able to travel that much.
But again, it's gonna benefit your future. Oh my God, I'm so mad that we are even talking about this.
Well, let's move on, because all Coach Max says is, you guys aren't on the same page. You should be. It's a real simple question, and the answer is she the one? That's all Coach Mac.
He doesn't know anything.
That's all Coach Mac provided. Yeah. Is he even a real coach?
Yeah,
Show me your whistle.
I don't think so.
Show me your whistle. Okay, new night. Katina and Elijah on one last date. One last dinner date for them. And this was a weird date for me. And I almost wonder if they filmed it weeks ago. Because
why?
Because Katina seemed so positive. She didn't look beat down. She was smiling, laughing.
No, she can put up a facade.
They seem to be.
Facade.
Yeah, I wasn't going to correct you. That was beautiful. But like, she seemed so happy, right? She's like, I'm glad I got matched with you. These last few weeks, feel like they've been flying by.
No, I feel
like it was like the third week, and she's like, these last few weeks have been flying by.
I think her head is in the clouds. But honestly, if I was dating someone and he was such an ass, and I was like still like trying to excuse him, it's like, he's just corrects me, it's great, and then he drank the wine like a moron, that would be it. Really?
That's the deal breaker?
After everything he's done, every single time he's like, "Oh
on
no,
national TV,
you don't have life skills. Drinking wine is a fucking life skill, dude.
But
you don't have it."
That's why I feel like this was filmed way earlier, because she says, unless my notes are wrong, she goes, "I feel like we're on the same page," and she goes, "There's no lingering questions because I feel like we talk about everything." These are things she's saying. Are we watching two different shows? Is she living one show and we're watching another? You're on the same page and you have no questions?
Recent. I actually think that's recent.
It's insane.
I just think she is, and I love Katina. I think she's great, and I wish she stood up for herself more.
Yes.
I think she has a lot going on for her in the future, and I really hope that she will choose herself, and not like Elijah one is saying, choose yourself so I don't look like a bad dude. I hope she chooses herself because she has to. He's an ass. But I truly believe that she's also slightly naive.
A little naive. And again, we don't see everything. There's editing. What does Elijah bring to the table? He's got a nice house. Okay. And then the
Nicer.
And then the niceties end there. He's not a nice person.
Well, he thinks he is.
He's not pulling in. I don't think he's pulling in like 6 figures. Maybe he is. I don't know what wastewater operators make.
I don't know.
Boston's, but
he may. But I mean, if is he an engineer?
His title comes up as wastewater operator.
Yeah, I don't know.
And again, I'm not saying that. I'm not going to be Lindsay and be like, he makes $60,000 a year, whatever. That's a great salary. It's not going to go terribly far in Boston, but it's a solid salary. But what is so attractive about Elijah? He's not a bad-looking guy, but he's rude. He doesn't want you to flourish as a human, Katina, right? Like, I don't get it.
That's the thing. He's not necessarily rude. He's manipulative. And he's very psychological. If you think about it, he's never rude directly. He
okay.
says things and he does things.
He was a little rude at the dinner when he was talking about the dating app.
True,
rude.
he was. But in the same time, then he like apologized and all that, and he thinks it's all fine.
Testing someone's a little rude.
It is, but again, I don't think that's like the definition of rude. I think he sees it as like, oh yeah, I'm cool. I'm just testing my wife.
I mean, because you're considering rude being like, oh, you're ugly. Like, that's rude. Like, telling someone they're ugly is rude. He's an ass.
That's very rude.
He's an ass. Okay, let's say that. He's an ass.
I also consider being rude that you don't let pregnant ladies sit on the subway
pretty rude.
and you stare at people.
Yeah.
There's a lot that comes
We don't know what he would do.
to rude. Yeah, but
He'd be like, you could sit on my lap. I once had a mother and a
Bravo,
daughter
she's
at the
like-
same time on a train.
oh yeah. And a pregnant woman probably
Yes,
there is a
yes.
chance that she is the mom and the daughter. 50-50.
Jeez. Oh, boy. This is a
Could
Friday
be
night
a mom
podcast.
and the son.
Anyway, so Elijah brings up Katina's school and questions if she can balance everything and asks if she thinks she can. And Katina says, if I didn't think I was capable of doing everything, I would have never signed up to be a wife.
And I totally, absolutely agree with her.
I believe
She's
that.
not an idiot. Gee.
I believe that. And she goes, being a wife is important. I want a family. I want to experience life with someone. And Elijah turns this dinner into an interview. I don't know if you got this, but to me, it felt like he was interviewing her because everything he came back with a question. She's like, oh, I have strong feelings for you. Oh, why so? Oh, I want a family. Why do you want a family?
oh my gosh.
It was an interview. It felt like it was not a conversation. It was not a date. It was an interview.
It was ridiculous. He
It was a disaster.
and he should listen to his wife if she says, hey, I wouldn't have signed up if I didn't think I can handle everything. That's where it should end. And let's see. Just
Yeah.
live your life.
Yeah. Yeah. So, new day. Katina and Elijah are packing up to spend their last day alone. And Elijah goes, how would you feel if you ended up single tomorrow?
One thing, you just skipped over
Oh.
the one thing that really pissed me off.
Oh, boy.
When Elijah was like, I would be sad, but I don't know the level of, because
Oh, yeah,
he was
yes,
talking
yes,
about,
yes.
talking about if she ended up single
Oh,
tomorrow.
this is the next day. This isn't at dinner.
God damn it, you're
Yeah.
right.
This is the next day.
All right,
I'm getting there.
all right.
I'm getting there. Yeah.
I'm living in the future.
I literally just asked the question. I said, Elijah on the next day says, how would you feel if you ended up single tomorrow?
And this is what pissed me off so much. And I'm
Yeah.
sure it pissed off all the ladies because he's like,
No, how dare you? It should piss off anyone with any sort of heart.
true.
Okay?
True. Okay, I'll take it back. He's like, I would be sad, but I don't know the level of sad I would be. I mean, I'm not a woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Wait. This is the time that I know Katina's packing, but she should be packing,
Faster.
and that should be it.
Yeah.
Like being like, okay,
Stand him up on decision
bye,
day.
and I see you never.
Let him sit there like an idiot
What?
by himself.
I can't believe this was so bad.
He's like, I know because you're
was so
female.
bad.
You're female.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, what? Isaac? What are you talking about? Katina, the camera cuts to Katina just crying. And then it comes back and Elijah's like, I hope you do what's best for you. Be selfish. I'm going to be selfish. I have to do what's best for Elijah. And now we're talking in third person, which you lost me already.
I'm so bothered.
It's
I'm so bothered by
crazy.
this.
Yes.
And I'm not, obviously, I'm all for women's rights and everything. I'm not a vocal feminist or anything like that.
Nah.
I kind of am very.
I'm a humanist. Can I be a humanist? Did I just patent that word? Is that a thing, a humanist?
You can patent
I don't
it, but
care
yeah.
about gender, or race, or
Well,
religion.
I
I'm a
think-
human.
Well, my
I'm a
thing
global
is that
citizen.
I think people should be equal. And
Yes.
it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman.
That's why I
or-
said it doesn't matter when you said, oh, if you're
Yeah.
a woman, you should be pissed. I said, if you have a heart, if you're a
Yeah, no,
human,
you're right.
should-
I'm glad you corrected me because that's how I feel. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman or you don't want to identify or whatever your skin color is.
who
We
cares?
all
We're
should
human.
be equal. And I just hated what he said. I hated it so freaking much. And again, I'm sure a lot of women who are feminists and who are like, oh my gosh, what did he just say? Like, fuck him. But if you think about it, you're right. He literally disrespected everyone.
Yes.
Everyone.
Come on. And he does every episode. It's literally offensive to watch him. It's not good.
And Katina's like crying. She's like, what the? Oh my gosh.
That's what I'm saying. This scene was a different woman than the scene we saw right before, where I go, did you really film that scene the night before?
Well, I think they did, but I think maybe like this was harsh. Like, you know why she was crying? Because she was picking up on him and not wanting to say yes on decision day.
Completely. It was spelled out right there. I hope you do what's best for you. Be selfish. I'm going to be selfish.
Mm-hmm.
That right there says we should be saying we're not going to stay
And
together.
again, it
We're gonna
comes
be doing two
down to
different things.
him being a I don't know if he's a psychopath or a sociopath.
We can't diagnose, but
yeah, we're not doctors or
hasn't stopped
psychologists.
us before.
But he's basically setting up the stage for him saying no and then be like, I mean, I said no because it's the best thing for Katina.
Right.
Like he's
right. He's gonna
setting
try to
up
make
the
him.
stage.
Yeah. I'm saying no for you. You know how hard it is for me to say no, Katina? I love you, Katina. But I'm doing this for you.
Or-
he wants to look like the good guy.
Or she's gonna go first, and after all this, she's gonna be like, "Fuck, I'm gonna say no because he doesn't want to be with me." And then,
Right.
and I'm sure if she says no first, he'll be like, "I was gonna say yes,
Right. I'm gonna look like.
but I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect that you chose you. I respect it."
And ladies, here's my Instagram. Slide into my DMs.
I'm telling you, like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen with these two, but it's not gonna be pretty.
No. All right. Last couple. Jasmina and Michael.
Yeah.
Michael's at home with his sisters having dinner. His sister Claire says it seems like you guys want the same thing. You're looking for the same thing, but for some reason, you're not giving each other that thing. And it's probably because you're overthinking.
Little things.
You're overthinking. You're overthinking. You're overthinking things. And Michael's like, well, we cleared the air and we're on the same page.
I'm so done with this couple. Like, I like Jasmine. I think she's really cool and very pretty, but same old, same old, same old. You are in the friend zone, both of you.
know.
You friend zoned each other, and that's gonna be it. Unless you want to be friend zoned, I don't think you can get out of it, especially if you are one day before decision day and you're still not attracted to the other person. That's just no.
Yeah. And
No, you friend zoned each other. Don't keep saying like, oh, we grew so much.
right.
No, you grew as friends.
Yeah.
You gained a freaking friend.
Yeah.
But that's it.
And here's what bothered me. And I love his sisters. They're super supportive. They don't want him to get hurt. And that's, I think, the problem. I think that's what caused Claire to say this, is her not wanting her brother to get hurt. She goes, you might need to make a decision that protects Mike. And I disagree. If you feel feelings for Jasmina, then take a leap. As the song says, it's all or nothing, right? So maybe just risk it. Don't do something that protects you. Be vulnerable, right? Get hurt if there's a chance of being happy if things go your way.
Well, he should say whatever he feels.
Right, but Claire
but
says...
I feel like they both keep lying to each other. Not even lying. Like, I'm sure they grew. I'm sure they do have fun. We see them laughing. We see them having fun together. But it's friends.
But Claire
Just
says...
be clean.
Claire says make
I'm clean. Sorry.
Clean and clear. Claire says make a decision that protects you. You don't want to protect yourself in this situation. You want to expose and be vulnerable because something great might come of it. Protecting means I'm going to say no first so you can't hurt me.
Well, isn't he the baby in the family?
Yeah.
So
I get it. They don't want him to get hurt. I get it. And that's where I say I love the sisters. They want to protect you, but they may not be doing what's best for you in the long run. Because what if he goes first and he says no? And she goes, I would have said yes, but now I'm going to say no. Like, I wouldn't take that advice if I were you, Mike. I would go with your heart. If you like her, if you love her, if you want this to continue, say yes. Don't protect yourself. Be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the most concerning thing. When we see Jasmina Skyping her friend Miles, Miles is far too handsome to be having these conversations with.
Very handsome.
Miles is very good looking.
So I don't know what Miles's sexual orientation is.
Yeah.
But if he's straight,
Oh boy. Yeah.
they would be so beautiful together.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm straight and I'm like, Miles, you are damn good looking. Right? So like for her to have these conversations.
But Miles is Team Mike.
For now.
For now, but he's not
Because
like,
he's a good guy and he's good looking. Like, come on. This guy's too perfect.
nah.
Yeah. I mean, if that was your friend and you were talking about me and you with him, I'd be like, come on. I don't like what I'm seeing here. He's better looking than me. And that makes me uncomfortable because they're talking about romance and Miles is asking, are things getting romantic?
Yeah, but Miles also ends it with, you should do everything it takes to make sure that it's right or it's not. Like, make sure that you're not going to lose a good opportunity just because you have these feelings. Just make sure it's right or not.
Right. And
Right?
if not, I'll be here
Yeah,
for you.
and
I'll be
so.
waiting.
I mean, I'm married, but if I wasn't.
Teresa. I wouldn't even be mad. It's a great looking guy, nice guy. Yeah. Yeah, she tells the camera things aren't in a place where she feels 100% confident. She hasn't been. I don't know if things have gotten better. They've gotten closer, but I don't think anything's turned in the way of romance or sexuality. They're still friends. They've become better friends, as you've said. And Jasmina says, Michael will reach for my hand. He'll sit next to me, but that's about it. And Miles asks, if Michael was more forward, maybe to change your mind, right? And she goes, yes. But Michael's probably in his head about it and doesn't do anything because he doesn't want to make her uncomfortable. And it's like, yes. I think he's so scared of crossing a line
Yes.
that he's stuck where he is. Right? And so Miles asks if it's worth pulling out all the stops at this point. And Jasmine is like, well, I haven't considered that. And Miles says, give it a shot. Do what it takes. All right.
Well,
So,
dancing studio.
new day.
And
dance.
it's all Michael's idea. He set it up to have some fun.
This poor guy should have worn his heels because he could use a couple
He
inches.
is tiny.
You know who's
tiny.
probably tall?
Jasmina?
Miles. Miles is probably tall. Miles is probably like 6'4".
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
But they're connecting. They're having
You
fun.
were not even 6'4".
Ah, you take it easy over there. They're having fun. They're laughing. She's feeling a little bit of a connection, right? It's good. Okay, it's good. It's bonding.
It's a friend connection.
I guess whenever they have these physical
And
activities.
No,
it's-
but I'm telling you, I do have actual guy friends. I do have
I
guy
know.
friends that I haven't seen in a while.
But you would go dancing with and giggle and laugh with?
Well, I wouldn't marry them. Let's begin with that. But we would have fun.
Yeah.
But yes, we would probably not go dancing, but we were never trying to make something work, right?
Right.
But you have fun, you enjoy yourself because you are freaking friends.
I
That's what they
guess.
have.
Okay.
I had a really great guy friend, and when I lived in Jersey, I told you we were on a date. That's how it started.
I know, but would you?
We were
I
on
know
a
we
date.
told the story, but would you
Yeah.
do physical activities like this? Like they did that
No,
couples
but
yoga thing, and it brought them closer. I feel like if you did couples yoga with your guy friend, it would be weird.
It would be so. I would
Right,
never do it. But what I'm saying
right.
is that they do it because they're married. They're trying to make it work.
I know, but it's actually working. Is my point. They're doing the couples yoga, and it's bringing them closer.
Yes,
they're
but
dancing.
they're still friend zoning each other. That's like I can see them. Oh my
I
gosh, they
know.
have so much fun. They have things in common. That's great. But she sees him as a friend, right?
Yes.
Because let's say
Yes.
if you and I, when we started, I always get butterflies all the time. But when we started dating, we didn't
Yeah.
know each other, right? Any time we would get a little closer or something, you get this.
You feel
this
it.
Feeling,
You want
right?
it to go further.
Yes,
Right. Oh,
and-
we're touching arms. Just grab my hand.
Yes, but
oh,
you
we're
still
hugging.
have fun.
Just kiss me.
But
yeah,
you would still have
yeah,
fun,
yeah, yeah.
right? If I had to dance with my friends, I would be like, "Oh my gosh,
This is
dude!
enough.
Like, stay
Yeah.
away from me." But we would still have fun, right? And I think they have fun as friends.
Yeah.
At
No,
least from
they
her
do.
point of view.
They do. I know. I think Michael, I think he's paralyzed by fear. I think he wishes he could make that move. And I'm sure I said it weeks ago. You get to that point in the friend zone where you go, well, now it's just weird to make a move, right? I said with you, we went on the first date. It was very cordial, or it was just...
We're getting to know each other.
We got to know it. Yeah, I didn't want to go too far. We had a couple of drinks. I think we hugged goodbye.
We did.
And that was it. And then we went on the second date, and I literally told myself, if we don't kiss on and this was before Me Too, so who knows what I would say now to myself. But I said, if I don't kiss her on the second date, and it doesn't have to be like a make-out sesh or anything crazy.
That
but
was a little make-out
if we don't
sesh.
go lip to lip,
That was a little make-out
if we don't go lip to lip on the second date, I'm going to be the friend. So I was like, I need to at least make my intentions known that I want this to be romantic.
Yeah.
And so we kissed on the second date.
And then on the third day, we were just like making out.
And we don't need to say what we did on the fourth date. But my point is, there is sort of an expiration date on when it's not weird to kiss. If you go 2 months and you haven't kissed, it's kind of weird if you kiss after 2 months. You're like, oh, why now? Why
I know.
We're doing this? Oh.
If they weren't married, they would be besties.
Right.
Right?
And
But
he's
they're
so
married.
used to
He's
being
very
besties with
used
girls.
to.
And I
that's
said
what I'm
this.
saying. That's why maybe he's so respectful, which is great. But
Yeah.
and
I
that's what
think-
she also sees in him. And I don't know. They're in the friend zone. They're in the friend zone. They're getting along. They're having fun. They enjoy each other as freaking friends.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Jasmine asks, how do you feel? And Michael says he has romantic feelings and he has no question as to why they were matched. And Michael says, but there are times the feelings aren't as intense as I'd like them to be. And Jasmine goes, everything we've been doing has been making us better. But as far as romantic feelings, I don't feel that yet. And I'm not in a place where I love how we get along, or where I love how we get along, how goofy we are, but I'm in a place where I don't know if it's a friendship or something more. She's honest with it. She puts it out there. She goes, I don't have romantic feelings yet. You could see Michael's bummed because he more or less said it. I have romantic feelings. And she says, I don't yet.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, like if I love that you made your move and you kissed me, because we had to wait and you kept waiting, and I would be like, okay, well, I have a new guy friend.
Yeah.
I have a new, and then if you try to make it move, or if you said it, I would be like,
And here's what I told
Okay.
and here's what I told myself. And maybe again, this is different in the Me Too era. But I talked to myself a lot apparently. But I said to myself, we went on a first date. We had drinks, we hugged, that's it. Right? We went our separate ways. But if she's willing to have a second date, she's probably willing to get romantic.
and I told you on our first day that I'll
Right.
pick up the drinks
But
next time.
I'm just saying, and this is, I don't know that we have any single guys listening to this podcast. And again, I don't want to get anyone canceled or anything. But if she goes on a second date, she's probably open to at least a little kiss. Otherwise, and this is to all the single women out there, don't say yes to a second date if there's not a chance that you're actually interested. Because now you're just leading them on. Now you're just going for the free dinner.
Yeah.
If you're saying yes to a second date, I'm taking it as, oh, she's interested, and she's probably okay if I give her a little kiss. I'm not expecting sex on the second date. I'm not expecting something like that. But I'm expecting
it can happen.
But sure it can happen on the first date. But I'm expecting it to at least be like, oh, there's an opportunity for romance here. If you're saying yes to a second date, otherwise just cut it off. Stop leading anyone on. Okay, new day, last day. Michael and Jasmina, they're packing up. They've got their reflecting that they need to do.
Did you realize that all the girls left, all the guys stayed?
Yeah, because you brought it up. You
Yeah.
said, oh, look at all the girls. Yeah.
And if I was in their shoes,
Well,
I
Mark
would
had
want
to
to leave.
stay. Mark couldn't go to his bed-bug-ridden apartment.
Yeah, I would want to leave. I would
Yeah?
want to go back to my home, just get comfortable, and
Interesting. I wonder why they do that. Yeah, because everyone besides Mark has a place to go to. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, you brought that up. It's interesting. So Jasmina tells the camera she doesn't know if a spark can come through. She doesn't know if Michael is a friend or more.
He's a friend.
He's a friend. Michael tells the camera he's very nervous and it's going to be a new beginning or the end. All right. That's the couples. Let's do some predictions here. Now, sorry to disappoint, but I don't think you have your predictions from episode 1.
Well, I just wanted to say they also played indoor soccer.
Indoor football.
Yeah,
American
indoor
football. Yeah.
Oh yeah, indoor football. And MTS got hurt, but apparently
Yeah.
just pulled. It was a spasm.
Yeah.
It was all good.
The only thing I have to say about that is like, again, Lindsay, right, rushed to him, tried to make it better. And it's like, Michael's a physical or a personal trainer.
Yeah.
You got to get some licensing or certifications to become a personal trainer. I'm sure he knows what to do.
Yeah, but
Lindsay,
I almost
get out of
feel
the
like
way.
maybe he was like, nah.
It's just
He doesn't
it's
take
just a muscle pull.
Michael doesn't take the lead.
You're right. No initiative.
Lindsay does.
No. Oh yeah.
Lindsay does, and
it
she
could have been really
tried.
bad if he like tore an ACL or something. And she got
Yeah.
in there and she was stretching him out. Could have been terrible.
That's what happened. Katina was doing great. Good. I was so surprised. I was so impressed.
Yeah.
It's like, you, dude.
Yeah.
Blah.
So nothing happened. That's why
All
we
right,
didn't talk
nothing
about it.
happened.
All right. So I have my predictions from episode 1. I don't think you do.
I don't.
So we can save that. We can go back and listen to what you said. And then
I think I remember.
I don't want to play. I think I remember.
Okay.
Let's just give our predictions now. But then once we have our actuals 2 weeks from now, we'll say, well, here's what actually happened. And then we'll say, here's what we thought was going to
Okay.
happen from episode 1. Because we'll go back and we'll listen. Okay.
Okay.
So Michael and Jasmina. Do you want to do like what's going to happen as a couple or what you think each will say?
Both.
Okay. So you want to go first? Ladies first?
Oh, okay.
Michael and Jasmina.
Jasmina. I think Michael's going to say yes. Jasmina's going to say no.
So that's a no for the couple. I'm going to say both no. I think they're both going to say no. Okay.
Okay. Let me write it down.
I have mine written down. I can just add to my notes or you can write your own.
Sure.
What do you want to do?
You can you can write.
Both
so
no, and then I'm going to add T says, you said Michael saying yes?
Michael no.
Oh, Michael, no. And you have Jazz?
No. Michael yes, Jasmina no. Ugh, getting confused over here.
Okay, Michael, yes. Jasmina, no. Okay, Katina and Elijah won.
Okay.
You want me to go?
You go first. No.
Oh.
I want to go first.
Okay.
I think Katina, if Katina says yes,
No, there's none of this.
okay.
Yes or no. Katina, yes or no. Elijah one, yes or no.
I'm going to say Katina yes.
Okay.
Elijah one no.
Katina, yes. So I just have KY, which is KY Jelly. Shout out to that. Katina says yes, and then you have Elijah one as a no. Okay, Elijah one is no. Okay, Stephen Noy.
I'm going to say they both will say yes.
I have them both as yes. Oh, I haven't been. Did I say what? Katina, I have yes. Elijah one, I have no. So
That's
Michael,
what I said.
Katina, yes. Elijah, yeah, so I'm the same there. We're the same for Stephen Noy. We both say yes for both. And Mark the Jacques and Lindsay.
I'm going to say you're going to say yes.
I have yes for both as well. Okay.
Okay, same predictions.
And how about Chris and Alyssa? Cheers to Chris and Alyssa. They made it very interesting for like 2 episodes for us.
We cheered, but we have cans.
Okay, guns. That's it. That is the
it.
final episode before Decision Day. Exciting. That's coming up. Again, we won't be covering whatever happens next week because, well, that's ridiculous. That'd be ridiculous to cover. But apparently we're going to go live on our Instagram
We are.
Wednesday night at 9 or somewhere around then. We'll figure it out.
And we'll put a reminder on our Instagram.
Yeah, it'll be live on our Instagram. We'll remind our Instagram, so make sure you're following our Instagram at Married to Reality Pod, okay? At Married to Reality Pod. Follow us there. You won't be able to see us go live unless you're following us.
Absolutely, guys.
I mean, I guess you can go over there and find us, but you won't know when we're going live. You won't know anything. So follow us at Married to Reality Pod. Also, make sure you're following the podcast. So easy to do. Look down, smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as the decision day because it's going to get steamy.
It sure will. All right. And last but not least, thank you for the reviews. If you haven't left one, come on, please rate and review. It means the world to us. So thank you in advance for that. That's it. I have said it all. Have you said it all?
I've said it all.
All right. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.